Hey everyone, talking about Enslaved by Roja. This has notes of bergamot, lemon, lime, carnation, geranium, jasmine, orange blossom, rose, ylang, ambergris, cedarwood, labdanum, musk, oakmoss, patchouli, vanilla, and vetiver. So that sounded potentially okay to me. A lot of people talk shit about Raja for thinking that they're either way overpriced or they're not a fan of the brand. They think that Raja doesn't really do all the fragrances and whatever. But for me, in terms of the scents themselves, I actually really like a lot of them. One of them is even full bottle worthy for me. I'll do a video on maybe my top 5 at some point. Maybe also the top 5 I don't like. But for this one, ew, for my taste. So this is marketed to women, and it's definitely feminine leaning, but not extremely so when you think about it. It's going for like a sort of vintage type of smell, and a lot of those were what was considered masculine and feminine at the time is different. So this is described as a secret weapon to wear on the skin with just one breath. The scent has the ability to enchant a loved one and hold them utterly captive. A potion with the power to leave people captivated in your wake. Once inhaled, they fall a slave to its power, a scent from which there is no escape. I mean, first of all, I feel like that's kind of not cool, like sort of offensive or whatever, but like also just I don't want anything to do with this fragrance. I don't even want this fragrance to be my intern, let alone for me to be a slave to it. Just like no, no, no. So I'm getting porta potty cleaner. I'm getting potpourri, and not porta potty, but porta potty cleaner, but that's not that much better. I'm getting stale fruit Mentos. Ugh, ew. Just like I really, really, really actively dislike this. So here's the thing though, this does smell really high quality. It's not that I'm saying it's bad quality or that it's badly done. I just do not like this type of vintage, powdery, animalic even fragrance. It definitely smells like there's some animalic notes too. So yeah, it's like animalic, powdery, sort of like a Chypre style with like the earthier base. And yeah, the way that stuff like the rose is done here is not like a more modern, dewy type of rose or anything like that. Very just like just a cloud of powdery. This is one of those fragrances that I sometimes talk about where it's like they're like ancient royalty. Like this does smell really regal. So if you like, say, like old school women's Chanel fragrances, but kind of amped up even more with some animalics, and like that vintage type of feel in a really fancy way, yeah, you might really like this. Again, it's not bad quality, it is actually really good quality. But if you're just looking for something that is not old school, that just is going to smell good to the average person in public, this ain't it. So this goes for $4.85 for a 50 ml. Yeah, that sounds crazy, but it's Raja. Their shit's always expensive. And just, again, it has really high quality ingredients. It does smell high quality. So I think if you like this type of fragrance, it's worth trying a sample. I don't think it's worth that price either way, even for taking into account that it's not my type of taste. It's one thing maybe if that was for a 100 ml, but no way for a 50 ml. Especially because there's a lot of other stuff like Habanita or like Chanel older women's fragrances that you can get that, you know, for way cheaper than that for this. But I'll put a link in the description where you can try a bottle or a sample if you dare, because I almost regret it, and I hope that if you have tastes like mine, you can learn from my mistake.